Chris Lovell here with another edition of Pirate Talk. Colton Coons taking care of us behind the camera as always. My man Chip Darden directly to my left. And these shows brought to you by Gene Messer Ford Lincoln. So make sure you go see those folks for any new car, used car, all that good stuff. Who doesn't want to drive a...
I hadn't got my Raptor yet.
Yeah, on the way. On the way. Yep, I believe so.
One of those COVID things.
I think that you wanted like a turquoise, some weird color.
Hey, my wife's from New Mexico, so she might,
there you go.
She might want the turquoise.
There was some University of New Mexico throwback uniforms that were just revealed that were, speaking of throwbacks, we got the old throwback kind of Cooper helmet here on the desk. Okay, so this is always a fun time of year just because it's the start. Optimism, you know you're about to get in it real quick, but it's like this is what you guys do and what you wait for and all that stuff. And what an unbelievable game right out of the gate, which is what you wanted. For everybody that doesn't remember, this game was played last year in Lovejoy. Cooper won in a shootout. It was televised all over the state and all those things. Refresh everybody's memory of how this little home and home kind of came to be and what you were searching for, because we'll get into who coaches Lovejoy in a second and refresh everybody's memory there. But
I think one of the things that we try to do is we can get to where we play the exact same teams in non-district all the time, and we try to play somebody different. And I won't spoil next year's schedule, but we've got somebody lined up that's not a West Texas school for next year. I just think it's good to go play different people and kind of get out of our region just a little bit. So that's part of it. It goes way back. Actually, I talked to they had a coach named Chris Ross who is now at Stephen F. Austin coaching. He was there before, and we'd set up a deal where we were possibly going to play him 4 years in a row. Or 2 years, we had to go there for 2 years for this season kickoff, and then they would come here 2 years, and we ended up deciding not to do it. But anyway, just in the off season, we kind of set up the home and home, and then they had a coaching change, and I was a little worried that maybe we wouldn't be able to follow through with it. But Coach Dodge was all about it, and so just kind of worked out. They wanted us to be there year one, and a lot of that was because the TV had already reached out to them, and we were able to put it on TV last year. So that was the reason we went there the first year, and now return trip this year.
You move the needle, okay, but Todd Dodge really moves the needle.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've heard of it.
Yeah. State championships at South Lake Carroll, state championships at Austin Westlake. Is that right?
He's only Texas high school football coach to win 3 in a row at 2 different schools, state championships. Yeah.
So he's Mount Rushmore, I think, state of Texas head football coach, and just done it at a couple of factories. But so he will be on the other sideline. Played quarterback at Texas years ago and all that stuff. Anyway, it's a fun because these guys are in the I think the District of Doom. Is that right?
They are
with a team that you saw in the playoffs last year, but then it's just like every game in their district. It's just like any of these teams could just go really far in the playoffs, but they can't all do that because they all got to play each other. And it's funny because they started out 0-2 last year. You give them the first loss, they lose their second game against Highland Park, and I'm sure everybody around there is going, This Todd Dodge guy, whatever. They rattle them off. They end up going 10-4, 7-1 in district, in the District of Doom, mind you. And anyway, but what does year 2 of Lovejoy look like? We'll get to your team here in a second, but what is year 2?
Number one, I think that was a good learning experience for this team, for us. We are going to do everything we can to win the game Friday, and it matters. But there's also a long-term goal of how we improve throughout the year. Last year I would have traded a win, a Lovejoy win. Let's make that a loss if we're going to go 2 rounds deeper in the playoffs. And obviously I'd just rather win both. I'd rather go that deep and win the game. But they just got better as the year went on, and so I think they're similar to us, that they had a big senior class, but they've got a lot of guys that have a lot of experience coming back too. For them, I think it starts and ends with their quarterback. He's and I'm not Jancic, I think is how you pronounce the last name.
Jancic or Janicek, one of the two. But he's a dual threat. Yeah,
he's super talented. Last year, and I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but against us, he rushed for over 100 yards and threw for 275 or so, and was involved in almost every touchdown. And He's super talented, really good player. So starts and ends there, but they just have a scheme on offense that's tough. They challenge you. That's Todd Dodge. He knows offensive football, and they just challenge you in a lot of different ways with the RPO game and tempo and things like that. And last year at halftime, we were really getting after him at halftime, and the adjustments that they made and how they came and attacked us hurt us in the second half, and so made us better, I think, going against them. And defensively, they are. I don't know the word to describe them other than they all do their job really well. Like, they might not have a kid that's going to get offered by the University of Texas on their defense or anything like that. They might not have the 5-star recruit, but they've got 11 guys that run to the football, that know how to line up, that know their responsibility, and it's tough to game plan for when you've got that. There's not a guy that you go, okay, we can get him confused. We can pick on this or that. So again, it's just a solid football team. Special teams are really good. They've got 2 kickers that are outstanding. So all the way through, a solid football team and a good way to start the season to see where you're at.
Let's talk about your quarterback a little bit. It's fun because this is going to be Ryan's, I guess, 3rd year to start, and that's got to be a comforting feeling for you just because he's kind of seen it, he's been through it, and he's been very productive. But now he's probably shouldering a little bit more of it just comes with the territory. It comes with the position and the responsibility, and you graduated some folks, and so the quarterback has to take on a bit more leadership and all this stuff.
Yeah, and he took a big step, I thought, there last year also. He was voted a captain last year, only the second player since I've been around, like maybe my first couple years when I was at the middle school. Coach Wyndham or Coach Cap could correct me, but I think he's only the second player that's been a 2-time captain along with Kyler Jordan. So that's pretty special, and tells you what they thought about him last year as well. But he's a captain again, and I just think it's taken another leadership step that you can't force that. Like, as a coach, you hope the quarterback is a leader and you hope he's vocal when he needs to be, but you can't force it either. And he's just kind of taking that role and, little thing in the locker room, saying the stuff that needs to be said. And then, like, kind of what you're talking about, we're really year 3 of kind of transition into this offense. And I don't know what you call our offense. And it's different a little bit, but we're kind of year 3 of it, and year 3 of him running it, it's comfortable. And I think, like, we felt like our game planning was a lot more simple as an offensive staff, and I just think a lot of that's because of Ryan, that, hey, we know that we're going to execute this at a high level, and a lot of that's just having him back there and having 3 years of it.
And he's not the most outspoken vocal guy. He's kind of under the radar and kind of quieter by nature and all that stuff. But when he does speak, I guess that carries a lot when he does choose to
we had jokes last year when he would show some emotion. We're like, hey, look at that.
That's good.
And he's just even keel.
But he always blames himself for everything, even when it's not his fault. And it's got to help, too, that you've got – in some of the other conversations you and I have had, it's all about the trenches, right? It always is for football, but like, you've got a lot back on both sides there, but that's got to make you feel warm and fuzzy a little bit too. Not just being back, but talent and experience, and like high school programs never have enough big people, but neither do professional teams, and neither do college teams, and so but that's where the game's most of the time won and lost. Yeah,
and it's not as flashy, like being that guy. It's tough, and like they're. When you split up in practice and you're doing your drills with your coaches, well, the receivers go catch balls, and you get to run routes, catch balls. Linemen are always hitting, and it's always physical. And you mentioned, and I don't know if you want names, but like the 5-0 linemen that we got coming back, the amount of football that they've played, left to right, John Ryder Hatton, Wyatt Schaaf, Peyton Duncan, Bobby Bleish, and Blaze Douglas. Like, all those guys started last year. 3 of them, this will be their 3rd year to either start or play significant reps. That just matters playing that much football. And then on the D-line, you've got Sione Vea that's 4 years on varsity. Pat Garcia and Jackson Turnbow, same thing. Both of them played last year dang near every snap on defense. And those 2 guys are versatile. They can move inside and out. And anyway, having that experience helps a ton up front on both sides.
If I were to ask you, because you could list off a bunch of guys, but Is there somebody, put your fan hat on right now, like Coach Darden that's not the coach right now, but like is there somebody that's a younger player or maybe an older one that hasn't gotten to play yet that you are personally excited to see kind of what they do in an environment like now that it's real or they've gotten so much better and this is their first taste of it? Is there somebody like that maybe hadn't played a ton yet that you're kind of intrigued by, just general curiosity?
Yeah, and I would give one or a couple maybe on each side of the ball. Offensively, I think – you know how I'm big on tight end position. Tight ends matter to us, and if they're versatile, especially if they can be a slot receiver and play attached tight end, I think it matters. But Wyatt Hare is a senior that has just done everything right, has worked really hard and switched positions, and he's going to have a really good senior year and makes us a lot better by all that he can do. And then a young kid that played freshman ball last year is Noah Clark. I think he's got the potential to be a very good player. Well, he is a very good player, but he's just got the potential to have a huge year that not a lot of people know about. So those two offensively. And then on defense, Case Romero is one that he played last year, played defensive end, played quite a bit. He's transitioning to inside linebacker, but still kind of playing both. He's just he can do a lot. He's really helpful for the team. He's a special teams guy, and he's just a kid. If you think about just a football player, he's just a football player, and I think he's going to be around the ball a ton. And then the other one I mentioned earlier was Darius Butler. Darius played some limited snaps last year, but he's just got an athleticism that's pretty impressive. That's not coached. I wish I could coach that athleticism, but I can't. Kind of a ball hawk type at corner, and then like I said, he may play a little offense too.
Matured quite a bit.
Yes, big time.
And his older brother was a really good player for you, but you could tell there's always points in people's careers when they just kind of it starts to click, or they start to realize what's important in life, or I can sway one way, sway the other, whatever, with doing all the things that you're saying, whatever. But you've got some kids that I think that are now entering into that phase.
There's a junior to senior year jump that almost every kid takes. They're just a different person when they get to their senior year.
Because when you can see the end, you take it a little more seriously. Yeah, I mean, you start to look around and do I eat right? Do I sleep right? Am I doing everything that's been, because there's only so much left.
That's right.
Yeah, for most of them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just the reality of it. We have a 2-minute warning now.
Can't call it that, but
I can't. Yeah. What was the NFL going to do? They're going to find me. If the NFL is watching Pirate Talk, I would welcome the lawsuit.
Are they not?
Yeah, that's right. But 2-minute timeout.
Yeah.
Okay. What other subtle?
That's the big rule change, and so then there's been timing rules under a minute. With 10-second runoffs and all that different stuff. All that's now under 2 minutes. So that changes into half and into game just a little bit, your strategy and how you do that. And we had to redo all of our kneel charts and everything like that. But that's the big one. I think a lot of the other rule changes are pretty subtle and maybe wouldn't be noticed or necessary to notice. But that's a big one. The 2-minute timeout and with the clock changes, that's a big one.
Because you get – you get a fourth timeout.
Yep.
Which is great if you're if you're trying to but it can be bad if you're like I don't we want that clock to keep rolling. There's some good and bad there, but that's some management.
Absolutely.
That alters the who. Is that all on you? Like just the situational time management of a game, because it's a circus down there on the sideline on a Friday night. Play clock, game clock, down distance, score.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do here? Who helps you on your staff with
We're all pretty good about it, but Dustin Schulte is really good with all that. He
QB coach.
Yeah, he's smart with it. And the funny part, I think when you're organized as a staff weekly, leading up to it, and I feel like we try to be. A lot of that is known. I mean, when you're going to go for two, some certain situations. Sometimes if we're going to, like the Canutillo game last year, we knew the first time we took a lead, we were going to do this surprise onside kick. And there's a lot of that's built in. But I think one of the ones that in the heat of the moment, if you're calling a play, is do you spike it or do you take your time out? Where's your – that's always the like if you have one timeout left, you get a first down. Is it when to spike, when to call timeout? Because Schulte's really good at that stuff. So he's always in our ear about what we need to do right here. And I think our staff in general is good about thinking ahead. We call a play, we're lining up, we're talking about what we're doing here. And Coach Crossway, who used to be here, he's now at a Metroplex school. He did a pretty good job of that. He always talks about a time that we knew we got the ball back against somebody and it was a 7-point game, and Coach Cat was our head coach then, said if we score, we're going for 2. And those conversations are kind of fun to have on the headset. Like, we're going to go down there, we're going to score, go for 2 and win the game. And so anyway, there's a lot of planning that goes involved in all that.
It's I've often said that if you could sell the feed to a coach's headsets, pro, college, high school, whatever, it would make everybody's struggling to money, right? Everybody needs to make more money for their football program. You want to put that out there. There's a million reasons why nobody would want that out there, but boy, talk about some interest.
I hope we'd be PG-13 and maybe not MA. I don't know though.
There's been some coaching staffs I've been around where I'm like, I would have loved to have heard why and what was going on, all that stuff. It's kind of like the NASCAR, the pit crew and all that stuff. Like, run him off the road, whatever. You mentioned Ryan as a captain, 2-time captain. Other captains that were voted. Can we mention those guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And the way we do it, team votes, and it's kind of wherever there's a clear cutoff. We got to have 4, but wherever we see a clear, somebody gets 31 votes as the 4th captain, and then 5th was 30. I think 5th deserves to be a captain too, right there. So we do a clear cutoff on that. But it worked out where 3 offensive players, 3 defense. So Ryan on offense, Shemaine Johnson that we've mentioned, and Cade Gant are the offense captains, and then on defense, Sione Vea, who we've mentioned, Pat Garcia, and Cale Kirk. Very good. Those guys are representing us well, doing a really good job. Cale's another one that played so much last year that probably going to play some running back as well as linebacker, and just he's going to have a big year too. Those guys have a class that we've been excited about for a long time, the senior class.
Why? Because I've known this young man for a long time, but why it was Deuce, now it's Shemaine, and he goes back and forth on, but we're going to go with Shemaine this year. And if you're watching it, Deuce, because that's what I'm going to roll with you with, because the last time I talked to you, that's what you told me to call you. Because that Shemaine's a mouthful now. Yeah. Especially for a broadcaster.
I like it, Shemaine.
Right. Okay. All right. Deuce is just fun to say too. So so 7:00 on Friday night, Pirate Stadium. Pregame will start on 100.7 The Score, 6:30 p.m. My one question for you, because I'm going to let you off the hook. We're just getting started here. My one fun question for you: have you watched any of the other Pirate Talks yet?
No.
Yeah, no. Okay. No, okay. No, that's okay, because now you're going to be surprised.
Okay.
This is our. Let's think of this as the dinner table. I am not here. You have to fill 3 other chairs.
Oh, okay.
And it cannot be anybody you're related to, so no family members, anything like that. And these can be dead or alive. Like, who would you want to break bread with if you had 3 spots to fill?
That's tough.
But it can be like, okay,
right? Like
Colton, we've had in our recent shows here, we've had George Strait, we've had Michael Jordan, we had Bill Walton, we had Jerry Garcia, we had Jesus. Jesus was mentioned. Who else?
Bill Walton's a funny one.
That was your man, Mike Moffitt. Mike Moffitt. He wanted Bill Walton and Jerry Garcia. He wanted the whole
I could see
that whole vibe thing going. He was.
I would in mine would probably stick with sports related. Other than he'd probably be the best athlete there was, but Jesus would have to be in the mix, I think. But I'm always about just interesting people,
and that's the point.
Like Bobby Knight, and I know the Lubbock connection there, but there's negatives to Bobby Knight for sure, whatever. Yeah. But he's smart and intelligent and knows a lot about a lot of things. So I think I would put him on there somewhere. And then, not a political statement here, but I think having dinner with Donald Trump would be quite entertaining. Bobby Knight, Donald Trump, and Jesus. That's going to be a pretty entertaining
and
meal.
I think Trump and Coach Knight know each other. I mean, and Coach Leach was with Donald Trump. So I got you, man. I got you. What would be the meal of choice?
We're eating steak for sure.
Okay. Cut. What's the cut? What's your favorite?
I go back and forth, but I'm a ribeye guy.
Yeah, I know. That's hard to beat.
It's easy to see that.
Yeah, they're not as good for you, but boy, they taste good.
Lean isn't my style.
That's right. Okay, man. So good luck. This is a lot of fun. You do have me intrigued about next year's non-district schedule. That's fun because it changes the dynamic. I think you can't get caught in a rut.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, but it's fun to, because this is an unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, there's folks that are living in Lucas Lovejoy that have never been in Lubbock, Texas. Well, you're about to see what Pirate Stadium's all about and all that stuff. So, all right, everybody be out there Friday night, 7:00 kick. Should be an awesome atmosphere. Weather's going to cooperate. Don't worry about any of that. And
two of the best quarterbacks in the state going against each other.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Rodriguez and Janicek, I'm going to go with that.
I like
on that. Right. So
sorry.
Yeah. All right. So for Colton Coons behind the camera, for Chip Darden, this has been Chris Level. Pirate Talk. Thank you. We'll talk to you next time.